That movie sucked.
I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.
He opened his enormous mouth, and I knew that his rotten molars were the last things I would ever see. Then something went whoosh over my head, and thump. A rock the size of a basketball sailed into Polyphemus's throat. A beautiful three-pointer, nothing but net. The Cyclops choked, trying to swallow the unexpected pill. He staggered backward, but there was no place to stagger. His heel slipped, the edge of the cliff crumbled, and the great Polyphemus made chicken wing motions that did nothing to help him fly as he tumbled into the chasm. I turned. Halfway down the path to the beach, standing completely unharmed in the midst of a flock of killer sheep, was an old friend. Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Taylor from Cabin 6.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13. And in this chapter, a few bodies get the fleece. Yes.
See, as soon as you said that, my brain went, all the bodies hit the floor.
Yep, I was just waiting for the
That's where my brain went. And that voice you just heard in the background, y'all, is our guest this week, Alex from Cabin 13.
Hello.
You might know Alex from My Cabbages, one of our sibling pods. So I will let her explain My Cabbages. Also, give us your pronouns, anything you want to share about yourself or Cabbages, and what's the other?
Just tell us
your
about
history
Cabbages
with Percy Jackson
in general.
Yes,
Yeah.
only Cabbages. Nothing else, like actual Cabbages. Please.
Oh, I love Cabbages, so I could talk for probably an extended period of time about that. But we'll be saving that for a bonus episode. So hi everyone, I'm Alex. I am one half of the podcast referred to as My Cabbages, an Avatar podcast, where we go episode by episode and talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender. We just wrapped on season 2 and are currently on break, but I'm very excited to be guesting for the very first time, making my debut on Of the Eldest Gods. And in terms of my history with Percy Jackson, I had actually never read Percy Jackson. I was aware of its existence growing up, but I felt that my education in Greek mythology throughout my education in both middle and high school was severely lacking. So I never really got into mythology growing up, but it was because of this wonderful podcast that I actually started listening and reading the Rick Riordan, Percy Jackson, and the Olympians book, and I have loved both that I have read, and I'm excited to finish the series and to continue on into another mythoverse, whether it's Norse or Egyptian or what have you. But yeah, really excited to be here. And ever since, now every book that I've read, pretty much the entire past 6 months, has in some way been a mythology retelling or an informational historical book, nonfiction in some way about it. So it's basically consumed my life now. So thank you.
Alex, welcome to the Percy Jackson cult. That's how it works. You read the books and then you get very into mythology and folklore things, at least enough. You understand what's happening.
I'm here for it. This is my mythology awakening, and I am totally here for it. Also forgot my pronouns, she, her, hers. But yes, thank you for having me. And now it's just Greek mythology all day, every day in my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, Alex is also the DM for a few of us in the movie night crew, are playing Dungeons and Dragon, and Alex made an entire goddamn pantheon. Isn't it 23 gods?
Maybe.
I think it's like 20-something gods.
23.
Like,
but who's counting?
All have, like, detailed backstories and things there. It's so great, y'all.
I really want just the notes of that. I really want to see them.
Oh, I should recap the chapter. That's a thing that's part of my job here. Nobody Gets the Fleece is the name of the chapter.
No, it's a few bodies get the fleece.
At first, I thought someone said nobody gets the fleas, and I'm like, that is great. I would prefer no one gets fleas, because I've had them, and they are not pleasant.
Yeah, no. So, Tyson's back. That's it. That's how it goes. But also, like, go Clarice, you made up for your fuck-up last chapter. Poor Annabeth is gonna die, but at least Grover and Clarice are not getting married. Fight scene, rope cut scene. Golden Fleece is just the flower from Tangled. Run to the beach scene. Roar, bah, oh no.
That was a great recap.
Great. Honestly, no one needs to read this chapter ever again.
Yeah, tell me where I went wrong there. I didn't.
You did it.
It's a weirdly short chapter.
It is.
And, like, a lot happens.
But you know what?
But also it's just fighting.
The only thing that would make this better for me is if there were, like, little popsicle stick puppets that you also put on camera to like, make it look like there's, like... Because if you had... I just want to see, like, a little mini puppet recreation using that exact script that you just used.
Next season.
If you want to see us do something for that, then tell us.
Content!
Next season.
And maybe that'll be a Patreon thing.
I would totally pay a good amount of money if I got a puppet rendition every month of a Percy Jackson chapter.
Next season. 4 chapters at a time. I'll just make videos with... Oh my god.
It's gonna happen. I'm so excited.
Fucking wild.
I had to, when I was in middle school, for some reason, they thought that Into Thin Air was an appropriate book for 7th graders. And I did an entire puppet show recreating the book for a class project. And that was dark.
So I had to look up what that was. And oh my god. That's a no for me.
Yeah, it was a book by, is it John or Ian Krakauer?
John.
Yeah, John Krakauer, like the investigative, like writer or what have you. I think one of his more recent books was Missoula, which is also really depressing and you shouldn't read. But yeah, it just recaps people climbing to Mount Everest. There's a lot of death and people don't eat each other like they do in other survivalists where people get stuck in the woods or frozen to death. But it's still not great.
Yeah.
No. Doesn't sound great.
7th grade, perfect time for that.
But hey, I guess it's no more inappropriate than Greek mythology for 7th graders.
Touche.
Listen, Rick tries to be like, oh no, like, Medusa was just Poseidon's girlfriend. It was fine. Rick. It was rape. It was rape.
Yeah, and then Athena was not having it.
There's so many. It's fine.
So many issues.
Just yet another example where a woman gets blamed for the man's crimes.
By another woman.
Yes.
Mythology's like woman on woman, but not in a good way.
No, I was like, not in a sex way.
Not in a sexy way. In a, nope.
Yeah.
Bad way.
Ugh. Well,
I'm ready for your rant, Taylor.
I do have a bone to pick with, Sir Riordan here. We're still in...
Sir Riordan.
The Bermuda Triangle, obviously. So no need for where the fuck are we. But why the fuck are we this week? In this chapter, Rick mentions the Macedonian formation. And I don't know why the fuck he chose to call it that. Because... sorry, Attack Plan Macedonia. I lied.
Yeah.
That's what... But...
It's where one person distracts and other people...
Yeah, like,
fight.
The whole point is that
that's all
somebody's straight on and people are coming from the two sides. The two most famous Macedonian generals are Alexander the Great and his father.
Mm-hmm.
Who notably just took every problem head on and fought in a phalanx formation.
Well...
the stereotypical Greek/Roman formation where you have this shields locked and huge spears over each other's shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very notably, go straight on, face your problems head on.
So, like an earthbender would.
But,
But
face the rock head on.
That's my problem with work this week, is just, why Macedonia?
Because it is a Greek place that is, one that children might be able to recognize.
I guess this would be around the age where you would learn about Alexander the Great. But it's anti-Alexander the Great fighting formation.
Yeah. I think to Rick's credit, I don't think that he intended for his chapters or his literature to hold up to the level of scrutiny of a high school, middle school history teacher.
The thing was, though, is he was a teacher.
He was a teacher.
Right, so he probably knows these things, but didn't feel like he had to go into the level of detail where every kid reading this book would be like, Macedonia, all right, let's look up these Macedonian battle plans.
I just think that he should have used any other word besides Macedonia.
You want to know what my friend when I was reading this book, I had a friend who liked Percy Jackson as well, and she did not read it correctly and thought it said macadamia. So
amazing.
It can be Attack
That
Plan
would've been
Macadamia.
better.
I'm fine with that. You know what?
And when you're successful, you all get a white chocolate macadamia cookie at the end.
Oh, that would be yummy right now. I could go for that.
You can have them. I don't want them.
Oh, they're so good.
Are you allergic to nuts, Charlie?
Oh, I just don't like them.
Charlie's just a picky eater.
You don't like cookies?
I like cookies.
Oh, just specifically
like
not
nuts.
macadamia nut. Okay.
I like chocolate chip cookies all day long.
Do you like white chocolate?
I will eat it if it's like with other types of chocolate, you know?
Yeah.
But like,
I'm the same
I was just
way.
curious.
To me, white chocolate is not real chocolate.
It's not.
There is no such thing. It is
You're correct.
Literally, it has no chocolate in it at all.
It's not cocoa beans. It's cocoa butter.
It's
right?
cocoa butter and wax. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yum. Love me some wax.
Lovely.
Great.
Yummy.
Know who also loves the wax? Good old Daedalus and Icarus, at least when it's at room temperature.
So are you saying that they used white chocolate to glue those feathers together so they could fly away?
That is exactly what she's saying.
Yeah, Ariadne was too busy, Phaedra was too busy. No, it was Ariadne too busy feeding Daedalus white chocolate chip and Macedonia cookies, and that's how they were able to make their escape. He just hoarded all the chocolate chips, or the white chocolate chips.
I need Alex to rewrite mythology. I like
happily.
Alex, in the D&D campaign, can the prize for something just be a bunch of white chocolate macadamia nut cookies?
Absolutely. It is canon now.
Thank you.
That treasure chest, it's actually just full of cookies.
it would make sense with at least two of the characters to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Mine, not so much, but...
Yeah, no, my partner and co-host of Cabbages, Zach, plays a tinkerer bard, or actually a tinkerer, what's your class, babe? Artificer. A tinkerer artificer who dreams of becoming a bard, who eats pretty much anything in sight, just to smite Taylor's character, Nyx. So, yeah.
I'm still mad about it. It happened like 2.5 months ago, and I'm still mad. Okay. So Charlie, we can move on before I just get mad.
Okay. Well, in this week's In Case You Missed It, but, we're just talking about Odysseus, because, like, we haven't actually fully talked about him, and, you know, he's nobody, so, gotta talk about him.
We do, although
I mean,
as soon as they landed in the few chapters previously, as soon as they landed at Cece's spa and resort, I'm like, and there's just all women being, perfectly manicured and waited upon. I'm like, oh my god, this is just Circe's Island. This is what this is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's great, isn't it?
Let's go with that.
So
Odysseus.
I scrolled down.
Oh no.
To
where?
Okay, but it's scary. So if you go down to other stories from the Trojan War, and on the right, there's this mosaic. And part of it's, like, I think been ruined in the middle. But, like, what is covering up his pee-pee area? Like, I'm...
A scarf.
Yeah.
Just, like, a
like
strategically
a
placed scarf?
Yeah, it looks like a maiden has her arm wrapped around his stomach, and then, there's a scarf that's just hanging out of her shirt sleeve.
It
just looks
weird. Yeah.
Okay, that's... Well, and I mean, the marble bust up at the top just looks like he's fucking having some weird orgasm experience, but that's a separate issue.
Okay.
Look at his eyes.
So but it's specifically depicting Odysseus at Skyros unveiling the disguised Achilles. So this must have been before they were going on.
Yeah, that's before the Trojan War.
Yeah, and when Achilles was chilling on this island as a woman, and and Odysseus unveiled him and was like, "Sorry, son, you gotta fight in this war. There's no draft dodging here."
I mean, he also just didn't fight in the war for a while, anyway. So
yeah,
but
so
that's Achilles.
That makes sense, because Achilles so that's why there's that robe wrapped around, because I'm pretty sure was part of Achilles' garment and is being thrown off. And I would think, is Odysseus maybe the one all the way to the right with the beard and the sword in his hand?
Probably.
Yeah.
No
That
idea.
would be my guess. That would be my guess of who Odysseus is.
It would make sense, yes.
Yeah. I think the one in the middle is definitely Achilles.
Yeah, so Odysseus, also known by the Latin name Ulysses.
Gross.
Fun.
So annoying.
Is the legendary king of Ithaca from the Odyssey. Whoa! And also the Iliad. But, like,
this has to be the
Odyssey
first time you've mentioned the Iliad and the Odyssey on this podcast.
Oh, definitely.
Ever. Yes, definitely.
First time ever. Let's see. His parents are Laertes and Anticlea. Think I got that? And his
Sure.
wife is the wonderful Penelope.
I love the name Penelope.
She's wonderful.
My favorite Penelope, though, is definitely Princess Penelope von Schweetz from Wreck-It Ralph.
It's Vanellope.
Oh, it is Penelope. You're right. Dang, I just watched that movie too. Well,
Rest in peace.
we're now renaming Penelope from Greek mythology Vanellope. So
it's done.
It's been done. Moving on. Okay, so he has a well-known epithet, Odysseus the Cunning. Love that. Is he not the Slytherin? He's not the most Slytherin person? Am I wrong?
I would say... Well, he's definitely not Ravenclaw.
No.
Yeah, I guess he would be a Slytherin.
He thinks he's Gryffindor, but he's not.
Yeah, that's yeah. He would be sorted into Gryffindor because he asked to be in Gryffindor.
Oh, he has Harry
Possibly.
syndrome.
I think he's arguably more of a Slytherin, though, than Harry.
Yeah.
What do we have for etymology? Does his name mean anything fun? There is complicated things in here. Oh dear. Yeah, etymology is mostly unknown, but the fact that it's like, it could mean to hate, or to lament, or to be lost. I think to be lost is the one that should be correct here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because of the Odyssey. Oh, right, I forgot. The fact there's also a section about his genealogy. That his grandfather was also a son of Hermes. So
he's an
and
eighth
Theo.
god?
Yeah, he's got like a little bit of some godly things going on. And also there's a tradition that Sisyphus might be his dad, but
Ooh.
no.
I don't like that one.
I don't like that. Laertes is his dad.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Sisyphus is the god of war and destruction in Palladia. Carry on.
Why?
Actually, Taylor gave him that name.
Of
I did.
course.
You're welcome. I gave him that name just to annoy Charlie, obviously.
Of course you did. I believe it. So let's see. Oh, okay. Before the Trojan War is like the fun story of where he tries to avoid going into the Trojan War.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, I know, like, I have to, like, follow this oath because if anything ever happened to Helen, apparently I have to go to battle for her. Which is very convenient that happened. So Odysseus, like, you know what, I'm actually just, like, insane, so I can't go to war. It's fine. And because the Oracle was like, it's gonna take you a long time to get home. The Oracle was like, the Odyssey is gonna happen if you go to war. He's like, nope, not gonna do that. And, God, what is... He hooks a donkey and an ox to his plow, and starts sowing his fields with salt to prove that he has gone insane. And then, who's the one who does it? It's Palamedes places Odysseus' son Telemachus in front of the plow to prove that he's not insane.
But I feel like that means that Palamedes is insane for taking a baby.
I think it does. In fact,
like,
you placed a child in front of a plow.
Not a child, an infant. Like a tiny baby.
A baby. And Odysseus is like, I'm obviously not going to kill my son. And this is like, well, I guess you have to go to war. 'Cause you're fine. You're mentally able to do this. Just, it's so fucking bad. Terrible. He just wants to be with his son and his wife and not go to war.
I mean, it's all a very dumb war anyhow.
It is a very dumb war. And then, the Iliad exists. What the fuck does Odysseus do in the Iliad? I know he does things.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm gonna be really real here. I just finished the Iliad and I read it over this past summer, and one, I think it's better than the Odyssey, and I'm salty that we get a whole fucking story about Odysseus, because literally in the Iliad, he does a few things, but at one point, what's his name? Diomedes is trying to rally him to come and fight back against Hector, and he's like, nah fam, peace out, bye, and just leaves Diomedes hanging. So he's a total flake. But he's able to go he goes at night after Hector is making a rally towards this giant wall, basically, that's just made of wood that the Greeks have built, or the Achaeans, around their ships to prevent the Trojans from attacking them, but they built it without the blessings of the gods. So Hector is making a pretty big amount, and they're literally about to be able to overtake it, and they're about to be able to burn all of the ships. And at this point, Achilles is still psh, nah, you took my girl Briseis, we ain't cool, fam, and is letting the ships burn, and somehow Odysseus is able to try and convince him to, Achilles to kiss and make up, but I don't know. He's always the right-hand man, but always is taking credit for things that other people did. That's my take.
The whole thing with Achilles' girlfriend being taken from him pisses me off so fucking much. We're not gonna get into it.
Okay, we won't.
See, the reason
we don't have time to unpack all of that.
Yeah. Insert John Mulaney gif here. See, the reason I like the Odyssey more than I like the Iliad is because there's more of the general myth building in the Odyssey than there is in the Iliad.
See, I like the Iliad, even though it goes over, just a span of a couple days. I like the whole story of Patroclus and Achilles and...
Well, yeah.
And there's, instead of 100 ways to die in the West, it's just 100 ways to die in ancient Greece, because every death is described in such excruciating detail by Homer, and I'm here for it. Blood and guts! Blood and guts!
Fun things.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay, so I was right. The Odysseus is the one who thinks of the Trojan horse. I thought that was him.
Correct.
Of course. Because, his cunning and trickery. You ever just, build a wooden horse and hide it with your friends, and then tell some other people who you hate, hey, this horse is for you. And then they take it into their city, and then you kill all of them.
You didn't do that this weekend? That's what I was doing.
I don't. I really don't.
That sounds like a you problem, bud.
It is a
if you're not doing that every weekend, it's on you. The thing I don't get is how it keeps working. You know how many cities I've murked now with my horse gift?
Oh my god.
Just working my way up and down the East Coast, man.
Oh god. Okay. So yeah, the Odyssey, well, I mean, you don't need to read the Odyssey. You've read Sea of Monsters if you're listening to this podcast. I hope you've read Sea of Monsters. It's the same thing, basically.
The only thing that they left out... Yeah, they left out my girl Calypso.
You know what? It's fine, Alex.
It is.
There
We
will be
can't have
more Greek things.
There will, I'm sure.
There will be more
Spoilers.
bugs.
I promise I will tell you we see Calypso eventually.
Great.
I won't tell you
basically everything eventually.
when, where, or how, but we will see Calypso.
Guess I will just keep reading.
Yeah, now you have to.
Please do.
So you can see Calypso.
So, of course, how long does it take? It takes 10 years for the Odyssey. The Iliad, or not the Iliad, but like the Trojan War is 10 years, and then the Odyssey is 10 years.
Another 10.
So, he's been gone for 20 years. This poor man. I mean, he's an asshole.
I don't feel bad at all for Odysseus. I feel bad for Penelope having to stay at home and rule the island, all while also having to keep all of these suitors that just kept coming back for her, being like, nah, your hubby's dead, like, marry us instead. And instead just, like, let them ravish, like, the stores. Yeah.
Penelope, the most faithful woman who's just like, no, I'm just like, I don't want to remarry. I'm good. I think he's gonna come home. It's only been 20 years.
It's only 20 years.
Give it another 20. Like, then maybe I'll remarry.
I mean, let's think of all the celebrity marriages that have lasted, like they've gotten remarried 3 times in the span of 20 years. You know,
yeah.
I will say, I am sad about Odysseus, because when he comes home, his dog dies. So that's
the
why,
saddest part.
That's why I feel bad for Odysseus, okay? Come home and your dog dies immediately. So, upsetting. Don't know how it lived for 20 years? 20 plus years?
I think that's the most impressive part. And we don't know how old the dog was before he left for the war.
It stayed alive just to see him before it died.
But, like, dogs living past 20 in general.
I want to know what's in that dog chow, man. Like, the breakfast of dog champions.
I wonder, is the Odyssey on, like, the, that website, Does the Dog Die?
Oh my god.
It should be. It really should be. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously he comes home and then he murders all the suitors. But I do think it would have been better if Penelope had done the murdering instead of Odysseus.
Yeah.
Give me that good woman fighting all the men who tried to get with her for 20 years. But instead we got the father-son bonding murder.
The book is labeled as Does the Dog Die? Yes.
I kind of love that. I'm happy that they thought to put that on that website. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was,
I was saying
secretly
thank you to the
me
website,
the whole time.
not you.
No, it was secretly me this whole time.
No.
I run. Does the dog die? There's actually, like, if on Does the Dog Die, there's actually a lot more than just Does the Dog Die?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
No, but I didn't know until right now.
I feel like
Does
it
an
started
animal
with,
die?
like, the dog. And then
For me, it was
animals
horses.
abused? Does a horse die? Does a dragon die? Does a cat die? Are there spiders? Are there snakes? Does someone use drugs?
You know, I should
someone
probably
abuse
go on that
alcohol?
website to see if there are spiders in movies. So I can
Right.
avoid that.
Does someone
Annabeth
have
would
a
like this site.
seizure? Is a
Ooh.
child's toy destroyed?
What?
Are there ghosts? Yeah, that's
Are
the thing.
there ghosts?
Does someone fart or spit?
Okay, so this is now,
This was
a
either
different
made
podcast.
entirely as a joke, or it's for, like, built entirely for Mormons.
Does
people-
a baby cry?
Okay, I knew there were other things, but I thought they were, like, you know, reasonable things that people would want
Does someone drink a caffeinated beverage?
Does the black guy die first?
Oh my god.
Oh, this one's... Is Santa at all spoiled? Yeah.
Just for the record, we just rewatched the movie Gremlins as part of a bonus episode coming up on Cabbages Patreon, which people should also subscribe to.
Hey, go on My Cabbages Patreon.
Unfortunately, the black guy does die first in Gremlins.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can confirm that movie is just as, if not more, terrifying than when I watched it as a child.
Let's see. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. There is, in fact, a dead animal. The dog does not die.
No.
Well,
does an animal die? Yes.
We did, in fact, read the book, Taylor. Just so you know.
Oh, this is the movie. Does someone use drugs? The vote is with yes in the Lotus
They do,
Flowers.
in fact, use drugs in that movie. Okay? You can't convince me they did not have drugs.
At the Lotus Hotel.
Does someone abuse alcohol? No.
I don't recall
Dionysus
Dionysus
is there, but he doesn't...
He's in the second movie and he doesn't even have alcohol.
Yeah. That's what I don't know.
Maybe they consider ambrosia and or nectar drugs and alcohol?
I don't know.
I mean, they do have those weird goblets, but I don't think there was alcohol in them.
This one, a kid doesn't die in that movie.
Does a kid die in that movie?
Somebody said that
technically Talia is dead,
but like
that wasn't
she doesn't.
In the Lightning
we don't
Thief
see
movie.
her die.
They don't even talk about her in the Lightning Thief movie.
Yeah. I have some... Okay. Whatever. I'm gonna get off here, but... You know...
Taylor, do you need to just do a bonus episode where you talk about that in its entirety?
I guess. I fucking guess.
Get all the trauma out at once.
I don't even know what was happening there. It's fine.
It's fine. I also don't think I had anything else to say about Odysseus. Like, I mean, he's in other things, but...
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Telegony, which is about his son. There is, he's in the Aeneid, right? As a ghost? Or is he alive? I can't remember. I know there are ghosts in the Aeneid because they go to the fucking underworld. Ugh.
Okay.
Okay.
Fun times, y'all.
Fun times. We should talk about this chapter, maybe.
Yeah. Nobody is going to talk about this chapter.
Of course. The Inferno. Sea of Monsters.
Hold on, I'm like trying to figure out why my computer's beeping.
I don't know, man. This chapter scares me for what happens with Annabeth. Like, I know it's fine. I know things are fine, but also I'm just like, how did I read this as a child and not be like, oh my god, Annabeth's gonna die?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm, like, concerned by the gash. Like, the fact that it's described as a gash on her head, that's what, like, concerns me.
See, for me, like, we're lucky that if she had not been a half-blood, like, she would definitely, if she was just a plain mortal, she would have died. Like, literally just being dropped from, I don't know, like, how tall this Cyclops is, but just being dropped from several high feet in the air onto a pile of rocks, like, a mortal would have snapped their neck and died instantly.
Would not be
like,
good.
It's like anime rules. Where, like, you can
it's
fucking...
Spider-Man rules. Where
oh my God.
Everything is fine, except for when Gwen died that one time.
Except for that one time.
Just once.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes me think of anime, like, specifically Attack on Titan. They're, like, goddamn slamming into roofs and pointy things, and it's just like, I'm fine. Physics. You know what? Okay.
So they do the attack plan because Polyphemus has Annabeth. Apparently, so Macedonia is like a Camp Half-Blood training thing. Like, that's just
and they should know.
They should know their shit, but they don't. I mean, they also don't know what's going on with the Golden Fleece, as we already covered in a previous chapter.
Yeah. So
I also, and this may be from the previous chapter, but when they're drawing on their training from Camp Half-Blood, and they're like, it's all good. Like, we did this in formation training. When they were, scaling the backside of the island and the cliffs, and we're like, this is easier than the lava wall. And I'm like, okay, even at Camp Half-Blood, y'all have to have some form of safety equipment. It's not like,
oh no,
kids just fall off this wall. Like, they were just like, yeah, we're gonna free solo this, like, several stories high, no problem.
They totally
we got
do.
This, fam.
Also, there's lava on that wall, so, like, it's fine. Everything is fine.
Mm-hmm. This is a walk in the park.
I mean, in comparison, I mean, they also don't have to deal with fucking Tantalus.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so it's much easier.
It's much easier, because they don't have to deal with fucking Tantalus.
That gross man. So Percy decides to distract Polyphemus by being like, I'm nobody, actually. Of course. Didn't you know? The fact that it's like, the good news, he dropped Annabeth. The bad news, she dropped head first into the rocks.
Once again,
not
anybody
great.
else split open.
Head first into rocks. Motionless as a ragdoll. God, I am scared. I don't like that.
I'm surprised when he describes Polyphemus, of being smelly. We don't get a smelly Gabe reference here.
We don't talk about
He's
Gabe.
Gone.
We don't talk about Gabe anymore.
No.
But it would be such a good throwback if he was like, oh, this guy smells better than Gabe, though.
No. Oh, do we have to show Alex how we view Polyphemus? Do we need to?
Oh,
Is there a visual here?
Oh, yes.
Let me.
Did you here? I can.
Okay. I was gonna say I gotta find it in our chat because I was like thinking about it, I'm like, this is how I picture Polyphemus, and I just sent it to Taylor, and she's like, yes.
Hold on, I'm just gonna.
Oh, we're screen sharing.
Oh, this is very good. Yes. I saw this in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. There was no context there.
No
Yeah,
context,
we send it
yeah.
with no context to the Discord.
It was very good.
If you too would like to be sent no context things from when we're recording, you can join the Discord.
Isn't this what happens? Isn't this what happens in this episode?
Yeah.
Or in this chapter?
Literally all of this. It's Chalk Zone.
Come here.
Yeah, it's secretly been Chalk Zone this whole time.
There's a dog.
Guest of the pod. Puck came to say hi.
Hi, Puck.
Hello.
Puck's our third temporary co-host of My Cabbages.
Oh.
He's also our dog.
Yeah, so it was Chalk Zone all along.
That's the secret. It never wasn't Chalk Zone.
I love that Grover he has a sheep bone and he just like throws it at the Cyclops and it does nothing. Of course, it's a giant ass Cyclops. What did you think was gonna happen?
hey, Grover felt like he needed to contribute in some way. He already feels really bad that
he
his
gets
friends,
an A
like,
plus for effort.
Yeah,
But
He really does.
He's more of a craftsman, is good with his hands. I mean, I would not be great at using a loom, and how somehow being able to, like, whenever I'm knitting and I have to, like, undo my stitches because I, like, mess something up, like, God damn it. God's damn it. And, like, here, it's just like, oh, Grover, yeah, I have to do this to survive, so I'm just going to continue to weave and unweave the same thing that I have done.
I want to know how
day.
good it looked. I want to know.
I would think that he is pretty well-versed. Although, also probably Polyphemus is like, oh, this looks great, hun. And then you just look at it and there is a bunch of misstitches and, like, colors are just, like, a bunch of loose threads.
Not only is he a dumb Cyclops, he's also blind. Like, half blind, so... Oh, it looks perfect.
I like to think...
Nope.
I like to think that if Grover was doing this for real, he'd use some of his own fur from his legs.
Possibly.
He'd shave a little off. It would make it more special.
Interesting.
And also allow for voodoo to happen, but that's a separate issue.
And we all know that Polyphemus loves eau de chèvre.
True. That's how it's made.
So,
okay.
Percy tries to stab the Cyclops. He does not disintegrate because he's a giant-ass monster. Too powerful. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Let's see. More fight scene stuff. Clarice just keeps charging the Cyclops.
Me too.
Love that Gryffindor energy.
Yeah, she's a true Gryffindor.
Absolutely.
True Gryffindor.
True Gryffindor right there.
But...
See, Clarice is the opposite of Odysseus. She thinks that she would probably end up in Slytherin, but deserves to be in Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I accept that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there.
And now the conveniently placed rope bridge that we talked about before, it now comes into play, because whenever there's a rope bridge, someone has to run across it and then cut it. you gotta
has to run across it, and you gotta.
It's one of those tropes, you know. It has to happen.
I'm impressed by Clarice and Percy being able to make it across, even with some of the strands already snapped.
Well, you know, it's probably easier than Camp Half-Blood, somehow.
That's true. Still always gonna be easier than Camp Half-Blood. There's no question about it.
New quote for the pod. Still easier than Camp Half-Blood. Nobody failed.
If anytime you're doing something hard in life, dear listener, you can just chant to yourself. Still easier than Camp Half-Blood. Although, once we meet the Romans, I think they can give us a run for our money.
That's fine.
It's fine.
So Polyphemus, of course, makes it across. Sadly.
Because why could things be easy?
Also, just, wow. The fact that Percy gets so close to killing him, and then Percy, being the Hufflepuff that he is, cannot do it.
Right, but this is before, like, we haven't mentioned that as they're, like, after they've made it across the bridge and all hope is lost, like, Tyson comes back, and the reason he can't do what Odysseus did and finish him off is because of his brother. Really sweet.
Well, Tyson comes back after.
Oh, really?
But even still, he sort of
he's imagining
he gives him the benefit
Cyclops
of the doubt
Tyson.
because of Tyson. Yeah,
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Tyson's
my
just
sheepies
like,
need me. I'm only trying to protect them. Don't hurt me. And Percy's just imagining Polyphemus as Tyson. And he tries to let him live. And then, of course, foolish mortal! I will eat you.
I'm gonna start yelling that at my students. Just like, foolish mortal.
Foolish mortals! That was probably great audio right there.
I already heard it clip. It clipped over Zoom.
Wonderful. Love that.
I'm gonna look forward to that.
So then a rock the size of a basketball sails into Polyphemus. Love this. Apparently Percy plays basketball.
From our perspective, getting hit by a boulder the size of a basketball would be quite damaging, but I think it's
that
probably
would just murder
small
you.
peanuts. Yeah, small peanuts compared to a Cyclops. Pardon me.
A Cyclops of his size, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this just means that Polyphemus will now tumble down the chasm because he was just on the edge of glory.
Now I'm hanging on a moment with you. Yes.
Thank you.
Well, you know if there's a chasm, somebody has to unceremoniously tumble down it.
Yeah. See, these are all just Chekhov's guns, you know? There's a chasm, there's a rope bridge. You know exactly what's gonna happen.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Can we just insert a Lady Gaga song into every single episode, please?
Yeah, just the whole podcast is now just Lady Gaga references.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Nothing but.
What? So, and correct me if I'm wrong here, or like if this was explained already. But for the listener not as well like adept at mythology, how did Polyphemus end up with the golden fleece in the first place?
Good question. We still are trying to figure that out.
Yeah, it's not a myth thing.
Oh, it's a
not.
mystery we snaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna cover the Golden Fleece story in the next chapter.
Gotcha.
But no, he
we don't know.
has the fleece, and also Rick does not tell the fleece story correctly in this book. In fact,
yeah,
he brings in who does he bring in? He brings in Cadmus and Europa. And it's like they're not related to the fleece at all. I don't know what's happening.
Well, okay, so even if the myth is not an exact retelling, we're playing fast and loose a little bit. What are some of our theories as to why he ended up with the fleece?
He moved islands? He stole it.
I love that. He's just like, you know what? I need a new locale. Like, Odysseus, like, fucked things up for me. I gotta move. Thanks, fam. It's just like, just stumbled upon this island.
I think he found the fleece, didn't realize it was the golden fleece, because he can't see really well. So it's just like a regular fleece to him, and he's like, put it up in this tree, and then he noticed as soon as it was up in the tree that things were like really nice, and he's like, and just left it there.
It's almost as if he had found the heart of Tafiti, and then the entire island just sprouted.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the fleece is just the heart of Tafiti. Polyphemus is Maui, but like shitty Maui.
Yeah, and the cliffs totally threw magma at you until the fleece was put in the tree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. I feel like we had like a theory or an idea or something how we got the fleece, and I can't remember. But, oh well. But Tyson saves the day. He was the one who threw the basketball rock. And he's back. He didn't die. Rainbow saved him. Rainbow, the wonderful hippocampus. We love that.
Rainbow is a true god and should be treated as such.
Can we please get some fan art of Rainbow up on this
Rainbow
podcast,
and
Just
Tyson
Twitter?
Just of Rainbow and Tyson, just
being happy
on their adventure across the
Yeah.
sea of monsters.
It was my fave.
Yeah.
Also, that was one criticism I had, and sorry if this is an early chapter, but I just totally speed read this book before coming on the podcast.
Good.
When the CSS Birmingham goes down, there is zero mention of what happened to Clarice at all. They were just worried.
Not until we find her.
They were just worried about Tyson. They're like, oh,
nope,
yeah.
don't
he
care about
died,
Clarice.
but zero mention of what happened to Clarice. And I'm like, is this intentional? Did he, or were we not mentioning it because we're just worried? I don't know. But as soon as there are no details to me, that's an insignificant red flag. Well, of course she's gonna come back.
I mean, which would you think about more? Your school bully surviving the wreckage, or your long lost brother you just found?
Oh, for sure. No, Percy is totally
Percy
justified.
has a one-track mind.
But but from the perspective, of
someone reading
a
it.
writer, little plot hole. But anyways, I digress.
So, okay, so does Tyson have any of the Poseidon powers? Just because he was in the water in the wreckage,
That's fair.
does he have
But
water
then that would mean
healing
all
or breathing?
Cyclopes in Rick's world would have Poseidon powers.
Well, I think that he's
all of them
able
that
to.
are related to him. Yeah.
He's able to talk to and summon sea creatures. That's pretty dope.
I don't think Tyson could speak to the sea creatures, but
He definitely can speak to Rainbow.
He speaks to Rainbow. Yeah.
maybe not the
And
same way
summons
Percy
all-
can, but they can communicate.
Yeah. And I think we get more insight into that in the next chapter, too.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Rainbow comes back. Sorry,
Rainbow!
spoiler alert, Rainbow comes back.
Rainbow
Yeah,
is most important.
There's another thing that's not super spoilery, but when they're underwater, Tyson and Percy are able to communicate. They got telekinesis.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my
Forgot about
gosh, they just become they're who are the two superheroes? Aquaman? No, the two superheroes from SpongeBob.
Oh, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy?
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
need fan art of that.
Percy and Tyson
Yes.
is Mermaid Man and Barnacle
Percy's
Boy.
Mermaid Man, Tyson is Barnacle Boy. I need fan art of this.
Please.
On my desk by Monday.
You got it, Captain.
I'll get right on my ability to draw anything ever.
Yeah. So I love this. When Tyson comes, the sheep do not bother him because he's just a cyclops, and they're like, this is fine. Love that.
You don't look or smell anything like our dad, but hey, you have one eye, so this checks out.
Yeah, you look similar. It's fine.
I mean, they might have a similar smell. Maybe. I don't know. They're both Cyclops. They're both son of Poseidon. There's something there. I don't know. But they're sad that he doesn't feed them. And then he gets the fleece. And then Annabeth is not dead.
Well, she's just happy that Grover's not married, so
she's just happy to be there.
her I like her priority is the fact that Grover's not married.
No, my friends talked me out of it.
But
I feel as the female that's most, in tune with the whole idea of like, Greek mythology and arranged marriages and women getting like sold off to like pay for the sins of their fathers and brothers and first husbands. Like, you're good, Grover. We're so happy for you. Like, to Annabeth, that's probably one of the worst fates that could happen.
That's fair.
I mean, Annabeth was upset because she was supposed to be his maid of honor. So, yeah.
Truly unfair.
Priorities.
So we have to get down to the beach.
Yep.
But we have a person who's basically dead. Still. Because she's alive, but she's still pretty dead.
It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah, I don't know, like, because I feel that, the Fleece is able to heal wounds. Like, clearly she had a huge gash. Like, it was able to take care of that, but it does not, like, regenerate blood for her. Like, she has definitely lost a good amount of blood.
Yeah, like, there's blood, but not in her head where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because wounds bleed more than other wounds.
Yeah, and, like, look at, like, what happened when the Fleece was removed from, like, the island. Like, it just went to shit immediately. So, like, if you took the Fleece off of her, like, it's not like it's just an immediate, like, you're good, you're healed forever. But no, it's not. It's still, you still need to maintain that just a little bit. I just love when Clarice comes back in and she just picks up Annabeth like a sack of flour. I mean, I want to imagine that she's, like, holding her bridal style, but it's probably more like just slung over the shoulder, get her out.
Nah, she wouldn't do that because she knows Annabeth's ribs are broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's like, I've broken a few before, so, like, she knows. So I feel like she might be doing it a little tenderly. The fact that... Oh my god.
Nap time!
But the fact that, like, Percy's, like, telepathically willing the ship to sail around the island to him.
Listen, I love this. Percy can control a pirate ship. Everything about this is amazing.
This is like Pirates of the Caribbean mixed with that episode of SpongeBob where they get to captain the Flying Dutchman.
Oh my god.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Okay, that's Tyson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then ship goes to shit.
And then Percy's just like,
no
what?
Tyson, don't worry, Captain. We can buff out those scratches.
I need all of this. I really do. I want Percy and his pirate ship to go into the Harry Potter world and then, like, do like how they do with the Durmstrang ship.
That's what I was immediately thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry if my entire memes and references this episode have been to Harry Potter and SpongeBob, but SpongeBob is the only thing that really exists in my, like, quotes, like, all the time, and Zach and I watched Goblet of Fire last night, so...
So Joe and I's one of our first ever real conversations was fully about SpongeBob memes. And look at us, we're here 3.5 years later. So.
You know what brings families together? Because that's totally... My brother and my sister-in-law, when they matched on Tinder, they talked for a little bit, and then, like, things kind of tapered off, but then my sister-in-law Muriel sent my brother Brandon a SpongeBob meme, and it totally, like, that's what sparked it, and now they're married, like, 3 years later, so SpongeBob bringing people together.
One step at a time.
Amazing.
Yeah,
we love SpongeBob memes here. You're fine. You're good. You're good.
You're good.
And we made it full circle.
SpongeBob is just high class memes.
one of the
Yeah.
best animated shows of all time.
It's nice because it's one of those things that I can reference in class consistently and know that the kids are also going to get the reference.
Amazing.
I love that.
Like, even though we're like 8, my oldest student's 19, so about 4 years to 8 years younger than me. I can always know that
You can always
using
count on
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, and the chapter ends with the fact that Polyphemus obviously survived falling down the chasm because, he's in the water. And he has boulders.
Yeah.
You know what I just going back to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
You know that one scene where it's like Jack Sparrow running across the beach?
Yeah, and all of the guys are running behind him.
Is that Percy now?
That's that's Tyson with the sheep coming after him.
Ah, yes.
Very good. Very good.
But also, a few chapters ago when we're on the Civil War ship, that was when the big reveal when they're all skeletons.
Yes.
Don't believe in ghost
so
stories. You're in
what-
one.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is Sea of Monsters is just the entire Pirates of the Caribbean series.
There you go.
But even, we get Calypso in the second movie.
Yeah, that's true. Calypso is part of the...
Listen.
Come on, Rick.
Listen, Alex. You'll be fine. We will get Calypso eventually.
To their credit, these movies, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, were coming out probably around the same time that these books were being written.
Were they?
I think the first one came out in 2003.
Yeah, so a little bit before. Rick was inspired by pirates.
Great. So was I. Orlando Bloom. Pirates of the Caribbean was truly, wasn't my sexual awakening, but it was pretty close.
The original trilogy was 2003, 6, and 7.
There you go.
Yeah? That works.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Well, the Dead Man's Chest and Sea of Monsters came out the same year.
There you go.
The parallels. We just bust out
Cinematic
Charlie
parallels.
from Philadelphia, or
Charlie Day and
his board.
That's just me all the time.
Yeah, Charlie.
I really just need a board so I can do that.
You really need a cork board.
Yeah,
you just really need a cork board.
One of the best gifts that I ever gave someone was my best friend. Oh, believe it or not, Brooke from the restricted section. I gave her one year as a gift. You mean
this one?
Pardon?
You mean this one?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Has Alex not seen this?
Oh my
Alex,
I've seen this image, but how did you get a fucking bookmark of it? I'm so jealous.
That used to be a Patreon thing for the restricted section. They used to do bookmarks. And
oh my god.
Yeah. There's also a really good one of Haley as a bog witch. I don't have that
I've seen that. I've seen both images. I did not know that there were bookmarks, and the next time I see Tina, I'm going to beg and plead for one. But yes, that Brooke got her a giant Post-it note pad. Because we always were using Post-it notes growing up and writing down our fan theories. And so, I just got her one of those one year, and it was pretty well received. So we just need to do that for you, Charlie, but with a corkboard.
Yes. I'm waiting. I need a corkboard and I need some red thread.
No,
we are totally going to make it rainbow thread.
That's, I like that better.
Charlie, you'll like my umbrella I bought today. It is a rainbow umbrella.
You did it.
And then the thumbtacks are just going to be little skulls.
Yes.
That'd be pretty good.
You did.
Yeah.
Do you see my ring? It's a skull.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed that aesthetic. Hey, as a fellow member of Cabin 13, I got you, babe.
Skull.
We're siblings.
Rainbows and skulls. You got this.
That is the
Oh god,
aesthetic.
these ones are, like, terrifying. I don't like that one. Ooh, these ones are skulls on guitars.
So, like Coco.
Ooh, these are... Yeah. But, like, these ones I see here are, like, anatomically correct skulls. And it's pretty terrifying.
Please send those to me, because as an anthropologist, I am fully very much into those. So
That sounds cool.
I'm just gonna throw it in the group chat.
I love skulls. They're great. Eventually I will have a tattoo of an anatomically correct skull on my body.
This is why your symbol was a skull with a cabbage.
Yay! Yes.
Oh, they come in different colors.
Oh my goodness.
Rainbow
skulls! That's what Cabin 13
that's our
looks
pop
like.
punk band name, the Rainbow Skulls.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this person has a coffin push board.
What?
So if you have a coffin push pin board... Coffin...
Oh my gosh.
This is great
These
content.
are so amazing. Oh, I love these skulls. I want them. But these literally could draw blood. Like, these are not some, like, regular tacks. Like, these are, like, some legitimate, like, used to, make a blood sacrifice.
It's fine.
Don't you
It's
do
all
that
fine.
with your tacks normally?
Yeah, isn't that what you just sit around doing with your thumbtacks?
Totally.
Blood sacrifices.
I
So
mean,
should we-
it is Greek mythology. Where are the blood sacrifices? Come on, Rick. Get with it.
Oh my god.
No, not enough people have died or been maimed in the making of this book.
Oh, I love this. Should we wrap up the pod, maybe?
Yeah, we should maybe end the episode.
We got so off track. I love it.
I'm sorry. This is my first time on the pod, and I'm probably never coming back.
No, you're coming back
Ta-
because of this.
Future Taylor
okay.
editing is gonna be like, Alex, why? Why?
Alex,
It's okay. I'm the one sitting here on Amazon finding...
Yeah.
So I've now added a coffin pin display board
Oh my god.
and rainbow string to the group chat.
Alex,
Well-
we need to design our cabin, I think, is what we're getting at here.
Oh my god, that's what we're gonna make on your pin board. We need we need a real life Pinterest board for Cabin 13. I am so here for this.
I love it.
Sorry you know what you're getting for your birthday now, Charlie.
In 7 months, it's fine.
7 months, yeah.
That's fine.
Okay,
I
I'm gonna plug something and get
Yeah,
this ended.
any final thoughts on this chapter before we do plugs?
Wow.
Everybody good?
Are you a host now of the Eldest Gods?
She's doing better than we are. It's fine. My final thought is yes.
Mermaid
There we
Man and
go.
Barnacle Boy. That's my final thought.
Great.
My plug today is the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games.
Oh
I
my
have
god.
Oh, I have them for my Switch, and I was just replaying them again recently.
Taylor, you want to know what I was playing this weekend?
Were you really?
Yes, because Ray convinced both me and Kyla to buy Ace Attorney, and so we were playing that.
Were you playing the first game?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm replaying the second game.
That's literally what I was waiting for, like, the second thing to, like, finish up before I could leave, so I could come back home to record this pod.
Yeah, no, that's what I've been playing recently. Oh, also my New Year's resolution was to play more Animal Crossing, so
I love that.
I have to play Animal Crossing every day to keep my New Year's resolution.
Did you get
Check back with me.
the new thing? The what's it called?
Not yet, because I restarted my island.
Hmm.
I want to see what I can do in a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good shit.
So I restarted it on January 1st, and in our time it's only January 9th, so it's only been 9 days, but we'll check back later. Alex, where can the people find you and or your podcast?
Yeah, so I, for reasons, do not have a great public, personal following on social media, but you can find my creative endeavors with My Cabbages, an Avatar podcast on Twitter at CabbageCast. Or if 140 characters aren't your jam and you have, like Homer, need some more time to build out your criticisms or critiques of the pod, you can send us an ISIS, an
Iris message?
Thank you.
An ISIS message.
I mean, ISIS was also very...
Yeah, and I am reading a lot of books about Egypt right now, so that's my fault. But Iris message at my cabbagecast at gmail.com. And in terms of my plug, before that, we could also find us on our Patreon. And I think just like with of the Eldest Gods, we have pretty similar tiers. For $1 a month, you can join our wonderful Discord. $5 a month gets access to No Pod and Boss Sing Say, our bonus episodes where we talk about pieces of media that for some reason we wish did not exist or were different in some capacity, and a bunch of other stuff. So check us out there if you're able to. And then my plug for this week is going to be a book that I finished recently. I think it's very, very a specific kind of interest, but if you are a fan of Gothic horror or just narratives in general, I highly recommend The Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. And it is a book Farrah wrote about, there's a lot of trauma. It's about a main character, Vern, who escapes from a religious compound to live deep in the forest and realizes over time that some of the abilities that she is able to take on are more sinister than at first believed. And so, like, trigger warnings for, trauma and a lot of like self-harm and other things. But it's a really good critique, I think, of Black and racial trauma here in America and that history, especially from the perspective, of like Tuskegee and a lot of like that relationship between BIPOC and research and that whole questionable relationship. And it's very queer friendly as well. So
yeah, I was gonna say the tags on Storygraph are fiction, horror, LGBTQIA+, science fiction, emotional.
Yeah. So, TLDR, you should just go read it, and it's really good. So, it's just like a really good theme and is a really good example of a good piece of writing by a queer person of color. So,
coolio.
Fun stuff.
Charlie!
I had to think about this for a second, so I'm glad I went last. Because I was like, what did I watch recently? Besides watching Encanto again, because I had to watch it with a friend who hadn't seen it. I finally watched the new My Little Pony movie, and it was very adorable.
Yes,
My Little Pony and New Generation. I'm so happy it's in the same universe as Friendship is Magic.
You said it was called My Little Pony: A New Generation?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what it's called.
Just want to make sure. Okay, I just want to make sure that's what it was when I was typing it right.
Yeah. I wish more of the cast was, like, voice actors, but, what can you do?
Vanessa Hudgens is in it?
Yeah, she plays the main one.
Ken Jeong is in it!
Yeah.
Well,
it's an interesting cast there. It's a very
James
cute
Marsden?
movie.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It was great because me and my friend Kyla were like, we knew exactly how the plot was gonna go. We're just like, yeah, this is, I mean, we knew what we were getting into here, but also, it's adorable, and it's great. It gives me the happy brain when I watch My Little Pony things.
That's fair. I think that's the whole point of My Little Pony.
It is.
To give happy brain. Okay, well, it was nice knowing you all. I'm gonna go drown in the sea now.
That's not how we end the pod, Taylor.
Oh, it's not?
No,
oh,
Taylor,
okay, well then...
get out of me and Alex's fucking cabin.
You can follow the podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send an iris message to us through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. You can follow me, Taylor, at Taylor from Cabin 6 on Instagram, and Historical Femme, spelled FEMME, on Twitter. Catch me on episodes of the Restricted Section, Hell from Elsewhere, and True Stories of a Tryhard.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, mainly Instagram and Tumblr. But on Twitter, I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm not salty about. No, not at all. I also have an art Instagram that I sometimes use at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mack. That's MACK.
Our music was written by Nora Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian Emmerich. You can find Nora at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your pod. We are proud to be part of the Movie Night Crew Network, which features Content and Capable, where we follow Sam as he tries to figure out what it truly means to adult, and My Cabbages, an Avatar podcast that follows the true hero of the Avatar The Last Airbender series, the Cabbage Cart Guy.
Coffee, tea, honor, cabbage. Long ago, the four elements lived in harmony. Then, shit went totally cray when the Avatar attacked. Only the Cabbage Man, merchant to fine cruciferous vegetables, could stand against his trolling. But when the world needed some dank veg, he vanished. 10 years have passed, and my partner and I have started a new podcast.
My Cabbages! An Avatar podcast.
A weekly show about Avatar The Last Airbender. Whether it's Sokka's new line of cologne...
Hey, look at you, sitting there on a seal. Well, now look back at me. I'm on an even bigger seal. Now look away.
D&D related antics.
You have to make an acrobatics check for that, and Aang just, unzips his pants and whips out his D20s. He's just like, I got this.
Or randomly breaking into song. We'll stumble our way through the greatest show ever made, one episode at a time. You can reach us at CabbageCast, which is our Twitter, or subscribe wherever you catch pod.
Rotten cabbages? What kind of slum do you think this is?
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now, we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, we have to go perform a seance, and I'm not sure everyone's here for that.
That movie sucked. I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.